Hi there, welcome back to my YouTube channel and I hope you guys were doing good. Today I want to speak to you about something deeply personal, something I've been carrying with me for years, kind of a weight I didn't realize I was holding until recently. I've been trying to forgive myself, but it's not simple. I realized I'm stuck not just about finding a reason to forgive myself, but also I have been waiting for external permission to think freely, to exist without punishing myself endlessly. For so long, I've blamed myself, punished myself, treated my own existence like a crime. I've asked myself over and over, have I atoned for my mistakes? Have I repaid every debt for the wrongs I've ever done to myself? Am I a bad child, a bad friend, a bad sibling for loving myself, for prioritizing myself at all? And this realization hits me. I've been cruel to myself in a ways I didn't even notice. I have carried the burden of responsibility not just for my own mistakes, but sometimes even other people's. I convinced myself that if I didn't punish myself enough first, if I didn't kept myself confined, quiet, disciplined, if I ever allowed myself to feel a tiny bit of joy or freedom, something terrible would happen. Have you ever felt this way? Like your own happiness is risky, like your freedom might somehow hurt someone else. To me, I felt scared that people around me won't let it happen, that I won't be able to be happy because I want people around me to be okay with me for who I am and who I want to become. I felt trapped that if my freedom comes from the place of people's dissatisfaction or unhappiness, then it's not worth it. Then what should I be right now? Should I be confined? Should I be what and how they want me to be? But somewhere this feeling was also there in a corner. That no matter what I do, if I keep shrinking myself, keep myself small and quiet, I won't be really happy either. I'll be living for their comfort, not mine. And even then, their happiness won't feel like the real one because I won't be living it. And I would still be punishing myself in the background, carrying their expectations like a burden. And it's sad. So I kept asking myself, is it worth it to keep disappearing for everyone else? Because at the same time, I know my freedom doesn't hurt anyone. My actions, my expressions, my freedom, they are not against anyone. I just want to be me. I just want to express, I just want to speak and exist naturally, just like any normal person should be able to. I think what I want most is to live my life and for the people I love still be okay with me. And if I keep hiding myself, I won't be feeling alive either. And if I start existing fully, maybe at first they'll feel unsure, uncomfortable, or even surprised, but that should be normal. So when I imagine giving permission to myself to exist fully, then unexpectedly I could guess her. The honest one, the crazy one, the one who laughs even when it's a little messy, the one who says bitter truth because she can't stand pretending, the one who experiments on things she thinks might work or might not, the one who does whatever she thinks she's capable of because she's daring. She's inspired by others. She tries whatever seems good or interesting. She doesn't wait for anyone's permission. She just does. And you know what? She'll be satisfied with herself. And that satisfaction, that what matters most to her. And then thinking about this version of myself make me feel so excited and curious to live like that. Like, okay, this version exists and it's okay that she exists. It's not reckless. It's not wrong. And she should be allowed to be alive and exist. Can you literally imagine it? Meeting that version of yourself, the honest, laughing, trying everything version and letting her breathe. And just feeling satisfied with yourself for the first time in years. But then the fear came back. I started worrying about people around me. I started wondering, will they let me be this way? Will my freedom or joy, will it make them upset? Will they be happy for me like I'm happy for myself? Or they'll expect me to shrink again, to stay quiet and confined, just like a small caterpillar in a cocoon. Even though you don't want to hurt anyone else, you feel trapped between wanting your own life and wanting everyone else to approve of it. For years of not socializing, not expecting, not confronting, not speaking up, just existing like an old furniture in the room, only needed if she is useful to others, who's also expected to ask nothing in return. Like you have been tiny for so long that even existing completely feels wrong to you. And while I was listening to all of these contradictory voices in my head, then this one time the voices in my head said, I know that my freedom isn't meant to hurt anyone. It's not rebellion, it's just permission to exist without any shame or guilt. Then why do I need an external stamp to be verified? Then my brain literally started giving me answer. Those people you are worried about, they were never entitled to your suffering. They just grew comfortable with it. You taught them unconsciously that your needs didn't matter every time you decided to settle down for their comfort, and they believed you. Now you are asking, will they be happy if I stop living small? The honest answer, maybe not. Some might flinch when you start glowing. Some might quietly wish to you shrink back down because your freedom will force them to confront their own cages. But listen carefully. You weren't put here to be an agreeable decker in other people's life. Their comfort is not your purpose. You were put here to become, to expand, to speak, to create, to live so vividly that your very presence feels like a reminder to others that they too could choose freedom. And that's why freedom feels scary, because you have built your identity around other people's life. If you forgive yourself, you stop being their mirror of guilt. You stop being the emotional balance in the room. You stop staying small. And the fear you are feeling right now, it's not warning. It's just your soul fighting against the wall of your old cocoon. What you're feeling right now is the tension between the two truths. First, you have kept yourself safe for years by staying small and content. Second, the part of you that wants to grow no longer fits inside that old safety box. The fear you speak of, what others will think if you stop apologizing for existing, is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's the exact signal that says growth is coming. You are standing at the point where self-preservation and self-liberation pulls in opposite direction. When you start to stretch, move and breathe as who you really are, it shakes the foundation of that familiarity. And that's why fear hits you. But don't let that fear take care of your reality. It's just your system warning you that the change is coming, and change always feels risky. It's normal to worry that the people will disapprove. You have trained yourself to monitor everyone's comfort, that it became your moral compass. But that compass only points outward. The work now is to build one that points inward, so that your choices are not guided by whether someone else will approve of it or not. You need to convince yourself that you won't be in danger with this shift in reality. You are just changing the part of your machinery that no longer works for you. Freedom will feel wrong at first because your nervous system is used to that confinement. That wrongness is just unfamiliarity, not danger. Other people's inner peace is not your duty. Their discomfort with your healing belongs to them. You are allowed to let them feel it. If I were sitting across from you, I would remind you to take this in small steps. Practice it quietly. Say no to something tiny that you will normally accept. Do one thing purely because you want to, without explaining or asking for anyone's permission. If guilt comes in your mind, then treat it as a startled child. You don't scold it, you reassure it that everything is safe. Because this isn't about becoming loud or defiant overnight. It's about teaching your mind and body that love and freedom can coexist with responsibility. You should be that version of yourself, even if at first it makes you uncomfortable. People around you made you think that your independence, your choices, and opinion is a threat to the world. That's why they kept you silenced and confined. You fought, you raised your voice and acted against, not because you wanted to hurt anyone's feeling, but you just wanted to exist just like any normal person should be able to. And if you still find yourself asking, should I stay quiet or should I start making noise outside? Then let me tell you this, not just as any stranger, but as someone who is rooting for you with everything. You don't owe your life to anyone. You don't need anyone's permission. It's yours. You have been quiet for too long. You have already mastered humility, patience, endurance, and silence. Now it's time to master your life. Make the noise, even if it's small, even if it's awkward, even if they don't clap for you. And those people, those who truly care for you, will adjust to the new volume of your existence. And the rest, they will fade away quietly. If you are scared, really scared, then imagine this. Your life as a room. The walls around you are your family and the upbringing. Inside the room, there's this tiny version of you. She's been hiding, obeying, bending, and punishing herself. Outside, there's this full, laughing, authentic, and experimental version of you that you have described earlier. You being here, witnessing her, imagining her, looking up to her, and desperately wanting to become like her. But instead of trying to extend the wall around you, slowly and gradually letting her in the room, you are just sitting here, scared of the change and staring at it. And for me, that's terrifying. You're not responsible for managing other people's emotions forever. Your responsibility is to live a life without harm to others, yes, but not to vanish for their comfort. So now I'll tell you about something that I practiced a lot, something that really helped me. And I know it sounds weird at first because for so long I've been asking everyone else if it's okay for me to do anything or take decision for myself. But you do not need anyone else to say if it's okay. You get to say it yourself. I started doing this little thing in my head like a mental rehearsal. And I want you to imagine that with me for a second. Close your eyes. I take a deep breath. I picture myself, the version of me who I'm scared to become, the real me who is honest and loyal to herself, who creates, who experiments, and can smile without any guilt. And then I notice the people around me, my family, not as critics, not as judges, just there. And even if they are unsure or confused or quiet, nothing bad happens. My freedom doesn't explode anything. My happiness doesn't break anyone. They are just there, witnessing every version of me. And then I imagine doing something very small, something I want to do, something I want to try, something I want to say, what I feel. Not because I want to prove something to anyone, not because someone asked me to do it, but because I can. And when I did this, it felt so real and so safe and possible to execute this. And honestly, I know this is what's keeping you trapped in a cage where you can't let yourself turn into this beautiful butterfly. But you'll realize it's not really scary, it's just new. When you stop punishing yourself and start changing, people can't help but noticing. And oftentimes the effect is surprising. They may initially resist. That's natural. They may feel jealous or uncertain, also normal. But over time, seeing you relaxed, confident, happy, and honest can make the room feel safer for everyone else. They may breathe easier themselves, and they will realize that your happiness isn't taking away from theirs. You will start to notice that it doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. It can happen slowly, quietly, in small ways. And the thing is, love builds connection, martyrdom builds distance. For so long, you have been living like a martyr. It made you feel safe in a way, but it also made you feel lonely, exhausted, and empty. Now I'll leave you to think about this. If you lived fully, express yourself completely, allowed yourself to exist in a right way, will it really hurt anyone? Or will it just show them a new side of you? Maybe even quietly inspire others, or at least help them to see you more clearly and honestly for the first time. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself. Bye bye.